I'm using this old computer just to record this message because I'm kind of like just dying to get it out, and my phone is on charger. And yeah, so this is possibly not as HD as it could be, but hey, as long as you get the message. And the message is a message of stress. I've been paying attention in terms of the clients that I'm working with, and I think one of the big things that is coming out a lot, and this is also not just with my clients, it's also with me, and I'll talk about that later, but it's noticing how, because the world has become so messy, for lack of a better word, we are struggling, many of us, to make sense of it. But what does making sense of it mean? Making sense of the world essentially means creating a particular meaning for us about that. So essentially, in terms of what sense means, it means that we are making meaning about stimulus, events, phenomena that do not necessarily by itself have meaning. And this is the essence of what stress is about. What stress is about is a process of trying to make things that which they are not. Stress is a way or a process of making things what they are not. So if we bring it back home into the world of work, when you expect your colleague to be who they say, when you expect your colleague to be who you think they are, and they are something else. When you're a manager and you're expecting your employee to perform and they're performing at a certain level, all of those are the source of stress. So what do you do? What can you do about it? What you can do about it is, first of all, realize you are in it. You are the person that's in the story. And the first piece of work to do is to work with yourself as the person in the story. What is your version of the truth? Acknowledge it. Acknowledge the fact that right at that moment, you are feeling anxious, you are feeling annoyed, you are feeling irritated, you are feeling depressed, because that's also a big source of depression. Continuing disappointment from the disconnect starts creating that depression, and that can be very heavy when you start creating a different set of meanings about what the world means. So acknowledge the fact that this is your version. There's 8 billion people in the world. It's just your version. That's the first thing. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just is what you believe. Acknowledge it. Now, the second part about that is to now look outside and realize, with 8 billion people in the world, there's 8 billion versions of the truth. Is there anything you can do to reconcile your version of the truth and what exists out there as you want it, as you think it should be, as you think it must be? Can you do something about it? If you can, by all means, do that. Stand up, stop worrying about it, stop thinking and analyzing and over understanding. There is no understanding, there is just awareness. There is no understanding without negotiation and exchange, because that's where now you need to start talking to people. That's where you need to start engaging with the other versions of the truth. That's step 2. And when you engage with another version of the truth, let go for a moment. Park your version. You're not discarding it. You're not saying your version is wrong, because there is no wrong or right, actually, but that's another story. There is your version and there's another version. Listen, become aware, engage, don't make a decision. Now you have 2 versions. Step 3, go back to your aspiration, how you want the world to be, how you think it should be, your shoulds, must, ought to, gotta be, must be, all of those rules that you've created for yourself. Connect the 2. Can you do something about the connection? Can you change it? What I found is that just by merely parking your version of the truth for a moment, to get into the shoes of the other person, to get into another version of the truth, is enough for many types of stresses to let go of stuff. You're not discarding it, you are not evaluating it, you're just noticing. The act of noticing and becoming aware and describing is very freeing, because it slows down the thinking process and the meaning making process, so that if necessary you could actually have a different meaning of the world. And this is the important part around dealing with stress. Dealing with stress is not necessarily about taking pills, it's not about taking medication. And yes, we say people should go to gym and exercise and all of those things. That's really great. That there is proof and evidence around all of those higher level, more advanced ways of dealing with stress, meditation and all of those things. But when you look right at the center of it, for example, meditation works as a routine, as a ritual, to remove you for 2 seconds from that stimulus that you are so attached to. And by the mere fact of detachment, what happens is you are able to see differently and be willing, when you have to change. But just understand though that you don't need to change, you just need to acknowledge. That's all. Your child has got into a fight at school. They have. Children go into a fight. Believe it or not, that's what happens. 2, you've gotten into a car accident. People get into a car accident. It happens. Somebody stole your money. Your boss doesn't want to give you a promotion. People are mislabeling your country. All of those things, they happen. Am I saying get over it? No. I'm saying acknowledge it. Because once you can acknowledge it, it is then one version of the truth. What's important now is the work of wanting to shift and explore other versions of the truth. So I'm spending a lot of time in terms of that, but I think you get it. What I just really need to emphasize as you see yourself stressed is sit down, notice, reflect, not understand, describe. What is it that is causing those feelings? Stress is not a thing. Stress is a cognitive perspective, perception that you want something, but it's not like how you want it to be. You want people to say something and that's not what they're saying. You want people to do something and that's not what they're doing. You want a particular version of the truth to align with your picture in your mind, your aspiration, your desire. Let go for 2 seconds of your memory, how you think it should be, how it used to be. Let go of desire, how you want it to be, what you aspire, for 2 seconds, and watch what happens. I thought I should share this, and this is for me a beginning in a series where I'm going to talk a lot about not just mindfulness and being aware and all of that, but it's really about taking care of stress and really noticing how many people are struggling to cope. These are hard days. This is difficult. The world is moving very fast. It probably always has been. But we live today in a space where absolutely everything is visible to us. Which means if you're really paying attention, detach yourself from that version of the truth for 2 seconds, you'll probably be able to see it very clearly. Let me know what you think of this. Give me your content, give me your context around how you deal with stress. What are some of the things you've worked with? And let's talk and discuss and take it from there. I hope this has been useful, and I wish you a really amazing day, and talk to you again soon.